You are no longer bound by the shackles that formerly bound you. For a long time, you sensed that something deep within of you was preventing you from moving forward, an unseen force. It was a spiritual curse that prevented you from achieving your divine destiny, not just poor luck or chance. However, selected ones are never intended to remain confined indefinitely. You waged a fight in the invisible world, not simply a physical one. The adversary attempted to keep you caught in vicious cycles of adversity, anxiety, and uncertainty. Through divine intervention, spiritual insight, and your everlasting trust, you broke free from the bonds of unnatural setbacks and losses that seemed targeted. Everything seems different now that the curse has been lifted. You are entering a world where nothing can stop you. Your energy has changed, and the burden that was pressing down on your spirit has disappeared. However, the conflict is still ongoing even if the fight may be ended. The adversary does not just flee when a chosen one escapes. Now, the people who have long profited from your repression, the elite, are taking notice. They get nervous when they see your ascent. They are aware that a chosen one's awakening illuminates a dark world. Do you sense that your reality is changing? Have you seen odd resistance or attention? Someone else in the awakened era community could find inspiration in your path. So, please, share your experiences in the comments section below. You are no longer bound by the shackles that formerly bound you. For a long time, you sensed that something deep within of you was preventing you from moving forward, an unseen force. It was a spiritual curse that prevented you from achieving your divine destiny, not just poor luck or chance. However, selected ones are never intended to remain confined indefinitely. You waged a fight in the invisible world, not simply a physical one. The adversary attempted to keep you caught in vicious cycles of adversity, anxiety, and uncertainty. Through divine intervention, spiritual insight, and your everlasting trust, you broke free from the bonds of unnatural setbacks and losses that seemed targeted. Everything seems different now that the curse has been lifted. You are entering a world where nothing can stop you. Your energy has changed, and the burden that was pressing down on your spirit has disappeared. However, the conflict is still ongoing, even if the fight may be ended. The adversary does not just flee when a chosen one escapes. Now, the people who have long profited from your repression, the elite, are taking notice. They get nervous when they see your ascent. They are aware that a chosen one's awakening illuminates a dark world. Do you sense that your reality is changing? Have you seen odd resistance or attention? Someone else in the awakened era community could find inspiration in your path, so please share your experiences in the comment section below. Type Amen to embrace the angel's blessings. Show your support by giving super thanks up to $20. Second, while they used to work in the background, the elite are now aware of you. The aristocracy has been in power behind the scenes for generations. They have held individuals in mental and spiritual bonds, manipulated systems, and dominated narratives. But that order is upset by selected ones. You are a flaw in their well-designed system. You are awake when you break a spiritual curse. You are able to see through the illusions, deceit, and falsehoods that have long kept the public in the dark. You were a light of truth the instant you broke free, and truth is harmful to those who make money off of deceit. You should anticipate feeling watched, not in a paranoid manner, but with the unmistakable sensation that someone is watching you. They could be keeping an eye on your decisions, ideas, and impact. In order to keep power, the elite use every resource available, and the spiritual and material worlds are intricately entwined. Have you ever seen how certain forces attempt to dissuade you immediately after a breakthrough? Unexpected challenges, miscommunications, or assaults on your persona might occur at any time. These are diversions designed to test your strength, not coincidences. Now that you're free, you need to protect your newfound strength. You need spiritual protection to safeguard yourself against invisible assaults, much like soldiers do when they go into combat wearing armor. The elite's tools include psychological manipulation, spiritual warfare, and negative energy. They don't fight fairly. They'll instill doubt and terror in your heart. By using your friends, family, and coworkers, they will attempt to divert your attention from your goal. Spiritual discernment is thus essential. Be mindful of abrupt interpersonal changes, inexplicable emotional swings, and intuition that alerts you to potential dangers. Use grounding techniques, meditation, and prayer to deepen your relationship with God. Your energy field, or aura, is valuable. Limit your exposure to hazardous situations, steer clear of pointless disputes, and protect your mind from negativity. Since you are a lighthouse, darkness will attempt to infiltrate any area that is bright. Have you recently been exhausted? Have you seen any changes in the behavior of others around you? Let's talk about how we can all work together to safeguard our energy in the awakened era. Leave a remark. Words are powerful. The elite are in charge of media narratives and educational institutions because they are aware of this. However, the voice of the selected has divine authority. What you say throughout your life becomes a reality. Spiritual energies are activated when you announce plenty, favor, and triumph. However, keep in mind that negative self-talk may be as effective. I can't. I'm not good enough, and this is impossible, are examples of words that cast spells against your own fate. Every day, affirm your authority. Give your mission vitality. Say, I am unstoppable. I am protected. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Your spiritual shield will become stronger the more you affirm these facts. Have you ever been impacted by the power of words? Has your world altered as a result of affirmations? Leave a comment about your experiences. Perhaps someone else needs to hear your testimony. You're starting to notice a change in your powers now that the curse has been removed. Your dreams are more vivid and include messages that seem to have been carefully planned by God, and your intuition is more acute. You know things before they happen. These are the reactivation of previously repressed talents, not coincidences. Since knowledge is power and genuine spiritual strength is beyond human control. The elite are afraid of this awakening. Increased empathy, the capacity to interpret people's motives, and even prophetic visions are common experiences for chosen ones. These presents were intended to serve as a guide for you and your future generations. Accept them instead of being afraid of them. Have you seen any enhanced or new skills? Has the accuracy of your intuition increased? Tell us about your experiences in the space provided. Let's verify what so many selected individuals are going through at the moment. Resistance is unavoidable, and your ascent will not go unnoticed. The elite will use external pressures, uncertainty, and terror to try to regain power. However, keep in mind that opposition is a sign that you are headed in the correct direction. The purpose of obstacles is to test your strength and hone your spirit, not to stop you. Every obstacle is a chance to demonstrate your unwavering resolve. Remain grounded, maintain your composure, and don't let anything stop you. Be in the company of people who share your values and support your development. Continue to develop your spirituality with discipline. Avoid pointless arguments. Your energy is too valuable to be squandered on unneeded diversions. Your tale serves as evidence that light can triumph over evil and that curses may be broken. Allow your presence to serve as an example of perseverance. The elite cannot stop what has already started, so keep moving forward in your objective and let them observe. How have you dealt with opposition along the way? In the awakened era, let's continue to support one another and have a conversation in the comments. You are starting to recognize the tremendous power that has been latent within of you since you have been freed from the spiritual plague. This strength encompasses mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects in addition to physical ones. Your energy shines with an indisputable intensity, and you are now in charge of your fate. Now that you have this newfound power, the negative forces that previously held you back can no longer stop you from manifesting your goals. Being able to see past illusions is one of the biggest changes. The world's falsehoods and deceptions no longer fool you. You have a keen sense of intuition and can see deceit or manipulation in others. You have an edge in many facets of life, including relationships and job decisions. Because, to this skill, now you can easily tell fact from fantasy. Your capacity to cure others as well as oneself is another untapped force. People who come into touch with you may undergo significant changes in their own lives because of the transformational frequency carried by your energy. Because of this, some people could find you attractive and seek your advice, while others would find you unsettling. Even if you are a living example of light, not everyone is prepared to confront their own darkness. You also have an indestructible fortitude. You are a fighter because of the hardships you faced before breaking the curse. Adversity no longer shakes you easily. Once insurmountable obstacles now look like chances for development. The people who want to dominate you are terrified by the inner strength you have built, which can weather any storm. Finally, you are now a source of motivation for other people. Your change, your journey, and your tale are evidence that it is possible to break free, whether they know it or not. Those who are still in spiritual servitude look to you as a mentor. The elite's desired narrative is upended by your mere presence. If you want to claim this message, you can show your support by paying a super thanks amount of up to $20 and typing 1111. Resistance accompanies newly acquired authority. Forces that had previously profited from your ignorance started to work against you the minute you discovered who you really were. These forces may manifest as unforeseen adversity, former friends who abruptly turn against you, or even insidious doubts that attempt to resurface. However, realize that opposition is evidence that you are headed in the correct direction. Those closest to you might be a source of opposition. Some people may not comprehend the changes you've experienced. They could criticize your decisions, make fun of your convictions, or even try to revert you to your previous ways. This is because they are still constrained by the delusions you have broken free from, not because they want to hurt you. Whether you interact with them or proceed without them is up to you. External opposition might also take the shape of financial hardships, social pressures, or unanticipated challenges that appear out of nowhere. These are meant to gauge how dedicated you are to your new course. These diversions are used by the elite to keep you busy and cause you to question your progress. But you must not falter. Remain committed to your goal, and keep in mind that nothing worthwhile is accomplished without resistance. You could also be attacked spiritually. These may show up as pessimistic thoughts, inexplicable exhaustion, or a feeling of being observed. This is only an indication that your energy is strong enough to draw notice, so don't be worried. Pray, meditate, and keep your vibrations up to protect yourself. These forces are less able to reach you the higher you go. Unwavering trust is essential for conquering opposition. Have faith in your route, in the process, and in the divine plan that has been predetermined for you. Temporary setbacks shouldn't cause you to lose confidence. Every obstacle is a chance to become stronger and demonstrate that nothing can stop you at this point. You could be asking yourself, why does it matter to the elite now that you've broken free? Why would mighty powers care about the spiritual freedom of a single person? The reason for this is because your waking throws off their well-designed system. Their power might be undone by your newfound understanding, since they have spent decades creating illusions to keep the populace slumber. Control over information, resources, and above all, consciousness is what the elite thrive on. It has a cascading impact when someone like you breaks free. People who identify with your metamorphosis start to doubt their own reality. They begin to look for the truth outside of the stories that have been pushed onto them. The elite is at risk, since this erodes their grasp on the public's consciousness. Your frequency has changed, And energy disturbances like these are noticed by the elite. They keep an eye on discussions, trends, and the movements of those who oppose the current quo. Your ascent is a challenge to a system that relies on quiet and compliance, not merely a personal triumph. The more you demonstrate your actual power, the more others who want to stifle it will pay attention to you. This explains why spiritual leaders and rebels have opposed chosen ones throughout history. Targets are often those who discover their heavenly essence. The elite's facade will crumble if they let too many people to escape. However, they are also aware that a power that is protected by God cannot be stopped. As a result, they observe, plan, and try to stop the waking. However, no amount of resistance can halt the spread of divine truth. This is your moment to make sensible decisions, comprehend the significance of your metamorphosis, and utilize it as motivation to see clearly. Even if the elite is looking on, the force guiding you is much more powerful than theirs. It becomes crucial to safeguard your energy as you expand your capabilities. Although the elite and other adversaries may try to sway, deplete, or divert you, you can protect your newly discovered independence by continuing to practice spiritual awareness and discipline. Engaging in regular spiritual activities is one of the most effective strategies to safeguard your energy. Affirmations, prayer, and meditation all support mental clarity and aura strengthening. When you have a solid spiritual basis, you become less susceptible to outside influences. Keeping an eye on your circle is another important safety technique. Your energy should not be available to everyone. Whether they are conscious of it or not, certain people may serve as conduits for harmful energies. Be in the company of people who appreciate, encourage, and elevate your path. Keep your distance from manipulative or stressful relationships. Additionally, grounding is crucial. Maintaining a steady energy level may be achieved by taking deep breaths, spending time in nature, and doing things that make you happy. You become less vulnerable to outside influence the more grounded you are. When you stay grounded, you have the most power. Be mindful of what you eat as well, both emotionally and physically. To keep people confused and reduce their vibration, the elite employ entertainment, media, and even food. Choose the information you take in carefully, and when something doesn't seem right, follow your gut. Finally, keep in mind that you are constantly protected by God. On this trip, you are not traveling alone. Your ancestors, guardians, and spiritual forces accompany you on your journey. When necessary, call upon them, and have faith that no weapon used against you will succeed. Your strongest defense is your alignment with the truth. Type Amen to embrace the angel's blessings. Show your support by giving super thanks up to $20. Your experience has been nothing short of remarkable. You have regained your divine power, overcome the elite's opposition, and broken free from spiritual bonds. It is now your turn to confidently and purposefully travel the route ahead. As you go, be alert. The elite will keep watching, but they cannot influence a selected person who is in line with divine truth. Continue to concentrate on development, growth, and service. Your quest has just begun and is far from done. Get involved with your soul's kin. You are not alone as the awakening occurs all around the world. Look for others who share your path. Selected individuals come together to create an indestructible, dimmable network of light. Keep speaking your truth, whether it be by deeds, words, or your quiet presence. You have a bigger effect than you realize. It is impossible to halt the irreversible ripple effect of your change, which is an invitation for others to awaken.